damn it. When he said, Rudy, get this shit out of my, no, get this thing out of my fucking head. Now. I said, oh my God, who is this? Who is this? And then I said, oh, who is this? Who is this? Who's this? Because I hate to see it on him, but goddamn, does it look good. I can understand, yes, them putting a leash on him, I can understand why he's heated about that, because you're putting a leash on a motherfucker. Like, I get it. You're putting a chip in someone's brain. Just in case, like, I get it. But as someone who would be a citizen in this world, thank God they did. And that's where I was like, oh, babes, like, something's not right, because I'm starting to agree with Cecil on a lot of things. And you know that that's not a good sign for neither one of us if I'm agreeing with Cecil. And I'm saying, yeah, Cecil's right in this circumstance. Did you think the U.S. government was going to make you into a tank and then not put a leash on you? Did you think the U.S. government was going to spend this much money in making you stronger, faster, boom, 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 to make you more like their dad and not put a leash on it? I'm actually happy they did. If I lived in a world where Mark exists, put a leash on that motherfucker. Like, okay, question to the audience. Is it now canon that Mark will in turn be the king of the world in the future? Because these two twin boys coming from the, they said, trust, I watched it back. I didn't watch it back, but trust me, I guess, or I'm going to trust myself, that those twins said we're from the future. They didn't say we're from a different dimension. They didn't say we're from a different universe. They didn't say we're from a different Milky Way. They said we're from the future. And Earth looks blah, 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 blah. And that scene really, like, every time I think this show can't gag me or go one step above itself, because when they said, oh, we have a king of the world and he's ruling all of us and we're in camps and you can only, like, everyone is sheltered and you can only go to work or executions and go home. That's it. If you're seen outside, he's gonna kill you, he's gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. And then it's his coworker, his ex-coworker actually. They're not, Mark quit. His ex-coworker. What's his name? What's that one guy's name? Kate's fiance. Let's call him that. Kate's fiance is sitting there miserable and he's explaining. And you know, because, no, let me get his name. Kate and what's his name? Oh, Immortal. And Immortal's sitting there, gagged. First of all, gagged. Because you know Immortal, he's like the closest thing to like a Captain America. He's the closest thing to like a Superman. He''s the closest thing to the show of like those exact kind of characters. So you know he's like morally good. And he cares so much about the people. So the fact that I was gagged. I said, wait, what? You turn out to be like, you in a power position, you turn out to be like this. He said, no, babes, you made me like this, Mark. You made me like this. You end up you end up being the king of the world. You then appointed me because you wanted to run off and be with your little family. You appointed me this position. I'm the substitute. And I did everything I could to get your attention. And you know, because he's not like, we know, what's his name? Immortal. Sorry, Kate's fiance. We know Kate's fiance. And he is like, the fact that he came to this point where he's enslaved the whole world and has kept them oppressed to this point that someone had to alert future Mark about it in order to get his hands on Mark, because the Mark that he knows, the Mark that gave him this position, is so far attached. Okay. And so much so that Immortal's like, you have to kill me. That's the only way I'm ending this. The only way this all can end is if you, Mark Grayson, you kill me. And it's like, and then we expect this boy to be normal. And when he goes, and then he comes back to Eve and he goes, Eve, am I a good person? And she's like, yes, of course. And he's like, well, in the future, what if it, and I know, like, yes, the future can always change, but also, like, what if it doesn't? Mark, after lick, after lick, after op, after so many people, cause bitch, it is back to back. After Mark deals with this, then he got to deal with all the other Marks coming out of the town. Turns out they're all brought in by the guy he thought he killed, who now he wished he had killed, and he had been sitting with this on his chest that he did kill someone. Turns out he didn't, and then the motherfucker comes back and ruins his life even more. And then after that happens, another villain might come. Oh my god, I even forgot about Aaron Paul. What's that kid in Power Play? Oh, what is that his name? Power Play? That's not his name, right? I just call him Aaron Paul because he's voiced by Aaron Paul, and he sounds just like Aaron Paul. Immediately when he started talking, I said Todd. I said Jesse. I said Aaron Paul. That is right. That is Aaron Paul, without a doubt. I think Eve, if because Mark and Babes, within a span of seemingly like a week, these kids are attached to the hip, and it's like, it's so like, we knew they were OGP, but like, god damn, it was like, okay, period. Now we've established you two are a pairing, and that shit's not shifting. Like, we are truly at OTP status. There's nothing to do about it. Mark was quick with it. They're like, I like you. She's like, I like you too. He's like, great, I love you. Do you want to move in? And she's like, yeah, love you too. Let's do it. and then when he goes to his mom, and by the end of the episode, and he's like, actually, me and Eve are moving in together. And she's like, oh, thank God. And with Sandra Oh being the phenomenal, even behind just her voice alone, the comedy this woman's able to provide. She was like, oh, thank God. One of the biggest laughs I had the whole season. And this is what gets me on this goddamn show. Because there's a point where I was watching, I said, oh, man's not even out of prison yet. I mean, he was by the end of the episode. But I was like, God damn. God damn, when are we getting to the point where these two collide? But now I see that we do need time before they come together. And I was kind of excited, especially now that Debbie has a boo thing with Paul. And Miss Debbie, my girl. Because Debbie's happy now, I quickly thought man was going to come back into the picture. Because like the toxic man, before and after him, the second he could sense that Debbie was happy, the second he saw her moving on, the second she had a bit of glow to her face for once in a while, I was like, oh, he's coming back, y'all. We can be confident that he is certainly coming back. Debbie's happy, he's coming back. Yep. Because like the toxic man he is, he sniffed it out in the earth, he sniffed it out in the air, and he said, yeah, let me come back and let me ruin this woman's life one more time. But I do, when he said, I miss my wife, it did. The worst part of being an Invincible fan is that a lot of people who are nasty men who exist on the internet. Nasty. It was a huge reason as to why, for like the longest time, I would not tell a single person in my life that I was an Invincible fan. I just kept that shit to myself. I didn't watch edits of Invincible. I didn't do anything Invincible related because I just associated it with this foul stench that is the male fans or the boy fans of the show who are just weird and nasty and stink and just give everyone the creeps. All those creepy motherfuckers, they just ruined it quickly. My favorite Army man is the Army man that misses his wife. The one that flew out at home. It's like, I miss my wife. And you know he's talking about Debbie. I know he went off and had another wife quickly, which was crazy, by the way. How quickly he went off and had another kid and family. That was insane. But you know when he says, I miss my wife, he's talking about my girl, Debbie. I do hope Debbie doesn't come back to him. I truly think, no, I don't want to. Because that was crazy. She's like a pet. No, Paul is great. And Paul is so nice. And he's simple and easy. easy and a normal man who doesn't go and do what the fuck. He doesn't beat up on my son halfway across the fucking world. He doesn't beat up on my son halfway across the fucking world and then he doesn't smash my son's head through a fucking subway, a train. He doesn't do that. Paul doesn't do that. So that's why Paul's the right one for Debbie. Because he doesn't do shit like that. Eve and Mark are attached to the hip. I think if Eve comes up with a good idea, Mark will jump on it quick. If Mark comes up with a good idea, Eve will jump on it quick. So that's why the whole Mark turning out to be a bad person and Eve being like, oh, I'll be there for you, isn't the most reliable, form of anchor, unlike Debbie. Because when all the other Marks came in, all the other Beltramite Marks, all of them were talking about how all of them were talking about how they don't have a mom. And I was like some of them like, oh, I miss William. Oh, I miss Eve. Or like, I fucking hated you. But they have some like feelings about Eve and William. But all of them didn't have Debbie. Seemingly, all of them didn't have Debbie. And that is notable because I truly think she is really like his biggest anchor of like humanity and just bring him back down to earth. Yes, I can understand I can understand why he hates Cecil. But to the point where, bitch, you're running into the Pentagon fucking, completely blinded by violence and just fucking ready to kill to get your ass to Cecil. And I was like, I have a weird feeling that Debbie she doesn't know any of that. I have a weird suspicion that because he goes to Eve and he goes, yeah, fucking Cecil's a piece of shit. Like, he put that shit in my head. Like, it was so crazy. I said, okay, you're gonna explain what you did? You're gonna include what you did to Cecil? Because, do you want to include that? Because I can. I will. You want it? I also like Eve and Mark. I did not realize I was gonna like them as much as I do as a pair. I was like, this is so forced, y'all. Because the whole will they, won't they, him being in a relationship, and I was like, Mark, who gives a fuck? And then they actually got together, and I was like, okay, this fully makes sense, and it's the right thing. Especially what really sold me on them as a pair was when they went to the Memorial Day for the Chicago event. The Memorial the day fucking Omni Man beat the shit out of his son to death, to a pulp, to death, near death. When Omni Man did that, and then they were going to the memorial, and of course Mark being the way he is, he's concerned about everyone else, and she's like, babes, you're a victim of this day too. And I was like, oh, thank you. Someone has finally held this boy's hand and let him just fucking be for a moment. Because it's baby, you are a victim of this day equally as much as some people are dead and you're alive. So, but, okay, relatively equal to everyone else who were here to mourn. Babes, you are very much a victim of this day as well. So, I like even Paul, even Mark, I think they're very good for each other. Rex died, finally, thank God. I'm realizing that's a very unpopular opinion. Rex been pissed me off since day one. He's always been annoying to me since day one. It's nice to see him mature, but regardless, I'm not thankful he died, but I am appreciative of seeing less Rex. I'm realizing that's an unpopular opinion. You don't have to agree with me on that. I'm fine with that. To those who are mourning him, shout out to y'all. To the minority who are peeped that we can finally shut that kid up. Thank you. And he went out in a blaze of glory. So shout out to him. Also, Ruby. What do you mean you're taking his name? What do you mean? What do you mean? When I die, do me a favor. If you think that's honoring, don't do that to me. Don't honor me. if you think stealing my name is somehow stealing not only my face, my body, my life, and now my name, you think that's a way of honoring me? Do me a favor, disrespect the fuck out of me. Do me a favor, when I'm dead, disrespect the fuck out of me. If you think that for some reason that's a way to honor someone. My camera died. Let's keep going. I forgot what I was talking about, so we're just gonna have to move on. What else? That's just my ultimate. That's just my ultimate. That's just my ego. We can get away. Okay. What the fuck else happened in the show? Oh, here's something that I feel like it needs to somewhat be said. I understand when like we see Omni-Man's head get fully fully detached to his head, and when we see Shrink Ray die, or we see this superhero die and that superhero die, but then it's more convenient to like the plot for them to not actually be dead. Like, I understand, because especially in a show where they're all constantly losing, like, risking their lives, a lot of them are gonna die. So having to like reintroduce new superheroes and it would be too much. Especially why are we still on this, like, are we gonna like be like after Mark quit the Guardians, I thought we were done. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of hoping we were done with that. Are we gonna be watching them until the test of time? Even if Mark is not involved, they're not involved in Mark's storyline seemingly at all. Like, are we gonna have to endure another fucking round of Ruby and Monster Girl and Rex and if you're not in Mark's immediate circle, why are we here? But fine, for the sake of the plot, I understand why they continue, like, they bring him back to life seemingly with fucking ease. But when I tell you, it now, like, the deaths that happen in the show quickly lose any, and that's they lose any weight, they lose any value, they lose any shock factor, it just when a motherfucker dies now, I don't even think they're really dead. Seemingly, Rex is the exception, unless fucking Amazon put a good chunk of money on a Billie Eilish song. That's how I knew Rex was. I was like, oh wow, he's actually, because when he died, when he sacrificed himself, I was like, okay. Because people die so often in the show, even the big deaths that'll look to be big deaths, like Shrinking Ray, turns out they're not. Because turns out they're really not. You think, you go, oh my god. No, she's like really dead, y'all. They did that with Kate last season. And in case you're questioning it, or in case any of their deaths still had any fucking value to it, the show brought Ray back right in the beginning of season 3, right on episode 1. And then so you really think, oh, none of them are really gonna die. Like, none of them are actually gonna die. So, and even with Rex, even with the Billie Eilish song, babes, I don't know. We could see him next season. Because every time I think any of them die, they don't actually die. And that's what, like, kind of, like, sucks. Like, I get it for the sake of, like, conveniency and for the plot to, like, because if they died and then they have to introduce new characters, it would be so insane and repetitive and, like, so much. So I understand. But episode 1, season 1, when Omni-Man killed all those motherfuckers, like, dead. Killed them all dead. There was like a real to the show, because it was like, there's actual weight to what these characters do. There's and we see it all around the show. The fact that fucking Aaron Paul even exists on the show proves that even the smallest things carry weight in the show. And it truly is my favorite part about the show, is like everything matters. Okay, everything matters. It's not like other superhero movies where pedestrians die and we never see any of it and no one talks about it, nothing. Like, no, there's a ripple effect to every single one of Mark's actions. Whether he voluntarily does it or not, he's still very much, there's a ripple effect to every single thing he does. And there's a lot of people, just his pure existence on this planet causes a lot of harm to a lot of people. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so when these characters die, like Kate's fiance, I keep forgetting that man's name. I'm just gonna call him Kate's fiance. Kate's fiance, like when he dies, you really go, oh my god. And then the next scene, he's like, he's not dead. The one who voices Sonic, and the Sonic one, he's not whatever, but he's the same voice actor who does Sonic. That one, the Sonic one, when he died, when he got spread apart, and we saw his dead body, I was like, another character. I was like, oh, thank God. Rex, the Sonic one, and anyone who thinks they're quippy and funny and hee hee ha ha at every fucking scene, kill him off. Kill him. Just kill him. Kill him. Besides Alan. Alan can stay, because Alan's voiced by Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen is fine, and Alan is helping Omni-Man, and Alan seems to be the only motherfucker in here who's ready to push the plot forward. He's the only one. He seems to be the only thing happening. The only reason as to why the Omni-Man plot is even pushing forward is because of Alan. So that's why Alan gets to be hee hee ha ha hoo hee goofy about everything. Because he's actually making moves, money moves, big boy moves, something worth talking about. That's why Alan gets his claim and why he can sit pretty on the throne. The rest of you bitches, kill him off. Kill quickly, now. Like, Kate's fiance, I get why, like, he kind of can't die. I mean, we saw the future. He's very much alive, y'all. You know, we know he's gonna live for centuries. We know he's not really dead. Kate's fiance, that makes sense. But Sonic, the wee hee ha ha comedy relief motherfucker, he couldn't die and just stay dead. He had okay, whatever. Anyway, sometimes it just annoys me how much the characters just spring back to life. like even Eve, when Mark was like, Eve, please. I mean, truly, you know, when he really thinks she's gonna die, so not to mock him, but when he's like, Cecil, help me. I said, Mark, you'll be fine. The writers will pick her ass back up. She's not going nowhere. Trust me, you'll be fine. The gods above you that are the writers are not letting that girl go anywhere. She's fine. So that's what it means. Like, that's what it means when I say these big things happen, people die, but because we see them fucking put a band-aid on it and just spring back up to life, it doesn't hold much weight. So when Eve was lying there, my heart was breaking because I can see Mark truly thought she was gonna die, and at the end of all this, Mark is my he's not my true love. I was gonna say my true love. Mark is my one. Like, that boy, Mark Grayson, he will always have a place in this heart. I love that kid. He's like, it's the same, like, just like, I have for Mark is the same for, like, Peter Parker, right? Like, if I'm so, like, emotional, I'm like, you will always have a heart in this, you always have a home in this right here. Mark Grayson, that's my son, y'all. That's my love. That I gotta protect him. I'm coming back each episode just to make sure that he's good. You know, so at the end of the day, my heart was breaking seeing Mark really think she was gonna die. But I knew that girl would go nowhere. It was a season finale, and even when one of the main characters is bleeding out, heart out of her chest, intestines there, I was like, she ain't going nowhere. And that's what sucks. Because there was a point in this show where a motherfucker could die and I would actually be gagged. But whatever, it's fine. I mean, I get it. It's still something I can complain about. I understand why it's like that. It doesn't mean I don't have to be I can't say shit about it. So I'm gonna still complain about it. It's not gonna do anything. It's certainly not gonna change anything. But I certainly can just get off my chest. And I did. Thank you. Anyway, seeing Mark train Oliver, I feel like, made me want to cry. It was like, oh my god, Mark, the man you're becoming. Oh my god, what do you mean? What do you mean you're training Oliver the way a man used to train you? Oh my god. Oh my god. And then Mark, with his fucking smart ass, this is why because he's a college dropout. This is why he's so fucking stupid. Mark, he's like, hey kid, don't use your powers. Don't go out and be the superhero you want to be. But let's drop by Spirit Halloween and get your Superman costume and fucking put you on top of a roof and see if you're gonna jump off. What do you mean? Hey kid, don't do superhero stuff. Hey kid, I need you safe. Don't do this, don't do that. But let me get you a custom suit. Let me get you a costume Superman suit. What? That was such an insane decision. I was like, I get it for the plot, but to me, it would make more sense if Oliver seeked out a way to, like, get a costume himself. It would make more sense for him to be like, oh, I just asked around, or I just Googled, like, superhero costumes, blah, 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 because where the rest of the other superheroes getting them? You know, it can't all be word of mouth. And if it is word of mouth, I'm sure Oliver could find, you know, it's possible for Oliver to seek out Archie himself and then, like, I guess commission or just make Archie, like, make him a suit and then deal with the consequences of paying for it later. It makes sense for Oliver to come up with that himself. Mark being like, don't do this, don't do that, but here's a suit, have fun. What are you expecting for this kid to do besides be... that... The whole Amber issue in season 1 that all you bitches are ready to fucking just go insane about, fucking just jump off a cliff and just turn yourself pink and purple in the face, just yelling, chanting about how much you hate Amber because of this one stupid writing mistake that it just doesn't make sense. Mark does the same stupid shit. Like, tell a kid, no, I don't want you to be a superhero, but let me get you a superhero suit. And yet you bitches aren't quick to jump down Mark's throat. You're not quick to fucking crucify the man. You're not. But once again, this is a weird fan base where women can't do anything besides be the most supportive, amazing, spectacular, boom, bap bitch ever. And if they slip or they do something that makes Mark feel weird, then all of a sudden they have to, like, the fucking White Knights need to come save the day for Invincible. Like, what? This man's not real. This relationship isn't real. Like, you bitches can calm down. The amount of, like, just insaneness I've seen with the character about anyone talking about Amber and this fan base is insane. It is vile, to be honest with you. And you bitches don't hold nobody else to that exact same standard. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on the Amber train because I could sit here for, like, truly hours and turn pink in the face and just turn purple in the face and just go and talk about how crazy you bitches were about the whole Amber thing. She did nothing wrong. I'm sure you bitches gave the actress fucking hell on her earth. You fucking weird incels who've never been off the internet and don't know how to communicate to, like, real life people. I'm sure you bitches acted weird. I could go on that for hours, but we don't have time. Amber only had one scene this whole season. 2 scenes this whole season. And she's happy with Kyle. Good for her. Love it. And that's it. And that's that on that. To be quite fair. That's that on that. And Mark is starting to do things that, you know, season 1 Mark would really be not happy about. Him being like, if anyone, saying it to Oliver. That's how much he means that shit. He means it with his chest. Season finale, saying it directly to Oliver, looking in the audience faces, saying if anyone threatens my family, I'll fucking kill him. And saying it to Oliver, that's the part that really was like, oh. No, y'all, like, he actually means it. Like, he's not saying this hush hush, like, I'll do one thing. No, he's like, Oliver, you're right. Mark is in a very specific situation in which every other day, someone he cares about, someone he knows, someone he loves is constantly being threatened. And so what? You're just going to go on a killing spree And then when does it turn from, okay, anyone who's ever hurt someone I love, to someone I like, to someone I know, to just anyone who's pissed me off, anyone who, when you open one gate, babes, the other ones are gonna follow. You push one domino down, you think the rest are just gonna stay up? No. But at the same time, it is, like, there's a part of me that's like, my boy, my son, oh, let me burp you. To Mark, and I just love him so much, and I care too much about him emotionally. And then there's a part of me who's just like, I'm here for a good show. I'm here for a fun time. I'm here for a good show. See, I don't use shows like this to determine my morality and what I determine is right and wrong. So truly, he can go crazy and I'll still sign up. Because it's fiction and this isn't real. So we don't have to get crazy and wild about this because this isn't real. None of this is real. Nothing I've talked about is real. So we don't have to go crazy and wild and make threats or say obscene things about people who don't exist. Because guess what? They don't exist. Thank you. I'm very excited to see Army Man come back. I'm excited to see what truly, like, yeah, the whole Mark thing is fun, but I want to see him and Debbie reunite. I know that's so crazy. I'm like more excited about seeing Debbie and Nolan reunite than I am to see what Mark and Army Man are gonna do. But Debbie and Nolan, I really want to see those two reunite. I really want to see if Mark, if he's fully gonna turn. I wonder if Eve is gonna turn with him or she's gonna go against him. I'm excited to see. Truly, that's it. That's all I'm excited to see. I don't care about the Guardians. Never did. Never will. Don't. Just purely don't. But this was a great season. I know animation takes forever, but like, can we like? Oh, so Cecil. And then lastly, Cecil, babes. You know as much as I know that if Mark finds out what you done did, you're dead. There's nothing nobody can say. And I'm sure you're fully aware that if Mark finds out what you did, you're done. You're done for. And babes, I hate to see it. I hate to see a pretty man die, but I can't do nothing about it. I hate to see a man as fine as you fucking croak, but you are signing up for that. And I can't wait to see what Mark does when, because he will find out what you did. And once Mark kills Cecil, bitch, what? Debbie has to fight. Like, that has to be like, anyway. Because, what? Anyway, that's it. I know I've said that, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on my socials if you want, if you think I'm cute. And subscribe and like that if you really like. If you actually really like me, like and subscribe. If you don't, like and subscribe. And you might in the future. Okay. Thank you for watching. And that's it.